Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Azola Mzegandaba Uskeketu Mwelasi. I'm excited to be here. It's another day of entrepreneurship to the point. This is a platform which inspires, informs, and equips. Please do join us on our newsletter at www.ettp.co.za and all our other social media platforms, that being LinkedIn, Twitter, as well as Instagram. You can get us on the same handle. Keeping up with our youth month, we've got another young budding entrepreneur, only 22 years old. I'll read a little bit of his profile. Caleb, at the age of 16 in 2016, at the age of 18, in 2016, when Ghana was experiencing frequent power outages, he managed to raise $100,000 in funding to develop a mobile energy technology to be supplied to local households in the central region of Ghana. Caleb was also listed as a top 20 entrepreneur in Africa as part of Anzisha Prize. He is the co-founder of IYC Life Company Limited, as well as executive director for Auto Hydro Company Limited, Orbit Oil and Gas Company Limited. That is a mouthful for a 22-year-old, but it's an amazing story, and it's an amazing story that we want to hear about and talk about today. Caleb, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's an honor to be here.
Oh, no, thank you so much. It's an honor to be speaking to you. I can see you're a man of not many words. I'm a man of many words. Trying to take over from a famous presenter here in South Africa who used to go by the name of Xolani Gwala. They used to call him the man with the golden tonsils, but I'm not there. I'm just the joy of jazz. I'm excited. I'm super excited, man, to be talking to you, to be talking to young people about entrepreneurship. You know, Africa's population is vastly the youth, but it begs the question, as the youth, what are we doing? And today we're speaking to you. You're doing absolutely amazing work, and a lot of work. And speaking about the work that you're doing, maybe for the listeners who don't know about you, maybe tell them a little bit about your story, who you are, where you were born, and how we came about to be talking about IYC company today.
Okay, so let me say, I was born in the central region of Ghana, and at a very tender age, let me say, when I was in junior high school, I lost my mother. So, you know, my dad was taking care of us, and myself, and we are 5 children. So I'm followed by twins. And so myself and my 2 twin brothers, you know, we had opportunity to enter into the best senior high school in Ghana, which is in Fantipim School. And at that time, we were not having anything called free senior high school. So my dad has to pay. And, you know, that hardship my dad had to go through, I sort of felt that. And so sometimes I wanted to also support him in my own way. And so I decided, why not do something that can create, you know, source of revenue for myself so that I can start something on my own. But, you know, no idea was coming. No idea was coming. So I went to the Head of State Expedition Awards organized by the Duke of Edinburgh. And so on that expedition, we went to a rural community in 2016, where I saw a lady selling fruits. And in fact, there was light out at that moment. And so she said, you know, she sells it at night. And because of light out, she cannot make sales. And so she's wondering what she would eat with her kids. And that was what triggered me to start this mobile bioenergy technology thing. And so when I started the mobile bioenergy technology idea, it came from that situation. I felt empathetic to the situation of the woman. I was so empathetic to the extent that I wanted to develop something to, you know, help the woman. And that was when I developed the mobile bioenergy technology. I went back, researched, did a lot of work, raised about $100,000 within a month to, you know, execute the project. And I was I was the youngest to be awarded at the Ghana 60 Coca-Cola Young Achievers Awards at the age of 18. I was the youngest recipient of the award. And that was what triggered me. And I felt, you know, I had some sort of entrepreneurship skills in me that I could channel it into solving other societal problems. And that was how come the journey started. Yeah.
Oh, no, that's fantastic to hear. Caleb, can I ask one thing? There's a bit of a background noise.
All right.
I don't know. I'm saying there's a bit of a background noise that's coming through from
Okay.
your side. So I don't know if like you can just make it a bit easier so that people can
Is it
really
is
hear
it
what you're
is it
saying.
better now?
Yes, 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 it is. It is.
Yeah.
It's way better. Fantastic. So Caleb,
Okay.
you're
Okay.
raising like quite a few things, like what you just talked about. The issue of financing, raising financing, to be able to raise $100,000 within a month, like is a big feat. So how would you say like you went about that? What was your formula? Like, or did you not have any formula? Because a lot of entrepreneurs, particularly young entrepreneurs, they struggle with raising finance. So for you to raise $100,000 here in South Africa, that's like literally a lot of money, especially even in Ghana, even in cedis dollars. I'm sure like it's a lot of money. I think you've muted yourself. Yes,
Yeah, I
fantastic.
think
There
I'm
we go.
back. I'm back. Yeah.
Sure, fantastic.
Yeah.
So I was talking just about like raising finance. I don't know if you got my question.
Yeah, so when I started at a very young age,
Mm.
I used to develop, let me say, algorithms to solve um, big institutional problems,
Wow.
and I never took credit for that. And so sometimes, it started when one of my neighbors. I used to live in, let me say, a high class estate. So one of the neighbors there was a CEO of a big company, and he had a problem with his tablet. So he was like, "Oh, Caleb, can you try it?" And I did it for him. And so anytime he had IT issues, he would bring it to me. But I never took anything from him. I did it for free. And so we
Yeah.
built that sort of relationship. And then he started giving me big time complex problems at my tender age to solve.
Yeah.
And so when I started doing that, he started introducing me to some of his big friends, and it started from there. And so when I told them about my idea about building this solution to help impact society during that time, it was very easy for them to mobilize that capital for me to start the project. And so that
Oh,
was how it started.
Oh, no, fantastic, fantastic. I guess that speaks to something we speak about a lot on this platform, which is relationships. We
Yeah.
are as an incubator, like we believe like relationships are really important, like in business, like establishing yourself amongst your network. Which makes me wonder about one thing. I've been asking quite a few young entrepreneurs and young people in general what they'd like to know, like, in having a conversation with young entrepreneurs. And one of the things that a lot of people want to know is essentially, how did you come about to building credibility? Like as a young person, like a lot of the times we get like basically I'd say, for a lack of a better word, discriminated against because of your age. So, like, regardless of your age, you're 22 now. So I just wanted to know, like, and the listeners also want to know, how did you build credibility,
Okay,
or
so
how are you still building credibility even?
yeah. So one of the major thing or key thing every young entrepreneur must do to build credibility is that when you are doing something, you have to differentiate between what gives you sales, and you also have to know what you do just for favors. It's not everything that you do for people that you have to be taking money for, or it's not everything that you do for people that you have to say, "Oh, you need to pay me." Sometimes you have to learn how to say, "I did it for free." And if you start doing that, you start gaining relationship with people. You start building relationship with people, and so people will start also trying to create that sort of friendship or give you that sort of opportunity when there is a next opportunity, which may be bigger than what you actually did for free. And so when you start from that age, you may never know where it might land you. But if you start at a very early age trying to be so business minded, anything you do, you just want to be so focused on business. And so I did this for you, pay me based on this, I use this minute. When you do that, it means that that relationship with that person ends there once the business closes. And it will
No, no.
depend on whether, yes. So just sometimes learn how to, do things for free, and also know what gives you or drives your sales. If you're able to
Okay.
distinguish between the two, then your credibility starts from there. Yeah.
Okay, no, fantastic. You said something quite interesting. I used to read about the philosophy of the concept of free, particularly in behavioral economics, which like differs quite substantially from Economics 101, where in Economics 101, they say there's nothing such as a free lunch. But I don't know, like the concept of free is an interesting one. You can check out a book probably by Dan Ariely. He talks about the concept of free in Predictably Irrational. But saying that, please remember to join our newsletter at www.ettp.co.za and all our other social media platforms, that being LinkedIn, Instagram, as well as Twitter. We're using the same handle. And as our listeners, please remember, feel free to ask us questions. Feel free to write anything on our chat. We really love this to be a session where it is informative, but also engaging. And also there is a little bit of background sound. Sorry about that. Our technician is trying to work around it in the back. Be that as it may, we are African people. We are loud, we're colorful, we are exuberant, and we're still having this conversation. Caleb, like Ghana is one of my most favorite places to visit in the world, in the continent. I love Ghana, I love Accra. I want to talk about your hydro company. I remember when I was in Ghana, I went to the Akosombo River, the River Delta, which is electricity, which is one of Kwame Nkrumah's beautiful legacies. You know, like the story of Ghana is like absolutely fantastic. Even in the community, I know when I was walking around, even in taxis, it's very entrepreneurial. Everyone's selling you something everywhere in every single corner. I just love it. But speaking about the Akosombo River, I won't talk about the tilapia and the banku, which was my favorite thing to eat. I was even hoping you can send me some shitu sauce there, like, telepathically. But be that as it may, let's just talk about the hydro electricity. I'm really mentioning this Okasomba River Delta just because, like, I know you're an executive at a hydro company. So maybe tell us a little bit about that as well.
Okay, so the hydro you are talking about is the main grid, which is
Yes.
controlled by grid code, and
Yeah.
we are more into producing mini grid technologies or small scale hydro plants for industries and businesses and even
Yes.
homes. And so the concept came on board when I felt you need huge sum of water move through a gradient to turn a turbine, to generate electricity. And so why can't you use an initial starter to start a pump so that the pump will then push water at a very high speed to turn turbines to um, generate electricity. And the electricity that it's generated, some of it will be tapped back to now power the pump to start pushing the water so that it becomes self-generating electricity.
Okay.
Hence the name auto. And so it means that
Oh,
yes, so it means you are not going to need a very huge dam to produce high capacity energy. And so you can get, let me say, um, a dam, let me say, you can get, let me say, a small water size, let me say that of a pool, and it can produce in megawatts, and that's how amazing this technology is. And we have I've moved a little bit further with the project. We have I think contracts with some countries in Rwanda and other countries, and we also have patent for it. We've standardized it and everything, and so it's a project that is moving on well. And we just want to produce electricity at a very affordable price, but also focusing mainly on clean energy. Yeah, basically.
all right. Okay. No, I see a lot of your companies are, well, like you're always speaking about clean, pure, I watched a YouTube video about you when you were accepting the Anzisha prize, well, when you were a finalist there, and you talked about pure water, which is part of IIC. So now you're talking about other clean technology. And in the beginning, you did say like that it's very important, like really just to differentiate yourself. So I'm picking up a couple of themes that you have come up or have told us about today, which is like basically making sure that you differentiate yourself as part of building your credibility as a young entrepreneur. And you talked about a little bit about relationships, of which I agree with you 100%. And on that notion of relationships, because you are a young entrepreneur in his early 20s, I'm also in my early 20s in my spiritually,
Yeah.
I think I'm in my early 20s, might not by the birth certificate, but I'm excited about life and just magical stuff and talking to people like you. I hope our audience is as excited as well. Please do remember to ask us questions. We're hoping this can be an interactive session. I'm seeing people are quite quiet today, so I know it's a Monday, but it's not a blue Monday. We're talking to Caleb here. So Caleb, like speaking about relationships, who would you say is the single most influential person in your circle which has helped unlock business opportunities? I speak of this in a manner of maybe like things like mentorship, which a lot of entrepreneurs have talked quite to a great deal about. So for yourself, who would you say has been the single most influential person, and how have they unlocked opportunities for you?
Okay, so I think the most influential person in my life right now is my dad. The reason being that the reason why most young entrepreneurs, there are many young entrepreneurs out there, but the reason why most of them are scared to bring out their ideas is because when they start doing something at that early age, people may get that perception that, this person is now making money, even though the person may not really be making money or just be testing the market or doing anything. So because they are scared of that perception, and sometimes too, they don't have the liberty. Sometimes I have to travel, let me say, move from Accra here to Kumasi, move from Kumasi to Tamale, exchange regions, sometimes go outside the country. And at my very early age, some parents may not allow their kids to have that exposure, so my dad has really given me that freedom to, be doing all this stuff and also supporting me anything I want. And so, because of that, he has given me actually the confidence to do anything I want to do. And that's my biggest inspiration. And he has been my guide. Yeah, I believe that's the biggest thing any young entrepreneur can have at his early age, that freedom to do whatever you want to do. Yeah.
Okay, no, that's fantastic. That's fantastic to hear. You're speaking about a close-knit family network and being allowed to have the freedom, to pursue your dreams, which is like a philosophical and difficult question because like in certain families, certain kids are, the breadwinners. So it does make it quite a challenge for a lot of young entrepreneurs in the same position as us, to pursue whatever they want. So as you say, having a strong support system for you in the form of your father has been quite significant, in allowing you to be able to unlock opportunities. So relationship is coming up again as one of the key theme, in building a strong network in order to grow or even start your business. I'm seeing quite a number of people joining us as we talk. So for those who haven't heard, please do join our platform. Our newsletter is www.ettp.co.za. Please also follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, as well as Instagram. We are also live on YouTube right now. You can get pre-recordings, even what we're talking about now with Caleb, who's all the way from Ghana. Caleb has promised me that when I come to Ghana, I'm going to get some shito sauce. I love shito sauce. There's a mate of mine I was studying with in the US last year. He's also from Ghana. His name is Pascal. We're in Texas together. He had a lot of shito sauce. He had brought so much. When I knew I was talking to you, I just had memories of that. But be that as it may, maybe tell us a little bit about IYC and the pure water that you're bringing to the market and what's setting you apart from the market.
Okay, so I think it all started, the IYC Life, or the high school water product under the IYC Life Company Limited, started when I lost my very close friend due to diarrhea. And I felt it's because students are unable to afford clean water. And so they end up drinking this tap water, which comes directly, sometimes because of the high illegal mining activities, which pollute the water bodies with dangerous chemicals like arsenic, mercury, cyanide. It's very dangerous for students to actually consume such water. And sometimes they even use their bare hands to, drink such water because they are unable to afford clean and affordable clean water. So I think that motivated me to start it. And when I started, I did not have any factory. And so I decided, why not, outsource some of the thing to some third-party companies and use my knowledge or my skills in management that I applied in doing my mobile bioenergy technology to start it. And that's how come it started that way. And currently we are selling the water 50% below the normal selling price on the market here for senior high school students, which I think is making clean water very accessible to senior high school students who live under $2 per day. Yeah.
Okay, no, that's fantastic. Can you tell us your secret? Like, how are you able to have like such a low price points? Because like I know with a lot of price sensitive consumers, of which majority of the African population is, given just our purchasing power, when someone increases or decreases the price, it does affect us in how we have demand for that particular product. So how are you getting it at 50% below market value to the end user?
Okay, so that's also the main question my competitors would want to ask.
No,
Yeah.
if it's a company secret, I totally understand. It's a strong
Yeah,
value proposition. It's a strong
but
differentiator.
what I want to say is,
Yes.
I think I'm able to do it because of my clean motive to help people, and I'm able to do it because of the good vision I have. If you are into business to make money, you would make money, but you may be making money too, while you may be also disenfranchising people who are the vulnerable, people who may not be having, people who may be living under $2 per day. But if you have a clear vision, you would do anything to deploy innovations to, still make things accessible to people. So I
Ah,
think that's what I'll say. Yeah.
that's so great. That's so motivating. I'm feeling some social entrepreneurship vibrations there from you, which is absolutely fantastic. And I've seen with both of your companies, like, the main thing, how they came about is having like a strong need to serve like, vulnerable key populations. Because the moment you started talking about clean water, you started talking about, you had a friend of yours who passed away from diarrhea. You've already identified a problem similar to the auto hydro with regards to electricity generation. It also came from a need. So it speaks really to your entrepreneurship journey being one of problem identification and solving societal needs, which is absolutely fantastic. And I think it's one of those stories which aren't talked about a lot. Like, we do like see in the media and all the places where a lot of our young entrepreneurs are really like, become celebrity entrepreneurs, like they're solving problems, but like it's more for them to shine and all that type of jazz. But like, given that you're speaking about a lot of like social entrepreneurship, I'd say, what is your motto in life? Like just as a general non-business question.
Yeah, my motto in life, it's simple. It's just help people who are vulnerable so that in helping them, you can also help yourself. That's all.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm getting some questions here. And like, I just want to read some of the questions here, Caleb, for you. I'm getting a
Yeah.
question from Kareen. Kareen is asking, how has your business been affected by the coronavirus, if at all?
Okay, so my business was, I think for the water side of the business, it was negatively affected because we're basically operating in only senior high schools. And because of the COVID, the lockdown, these schools have to shut down and students had to go home. And so we had to redeploy and then see how we could get this clean and affordable water to houses through house-to-house deliveries. Later, some of the final year students are now back on campus, but it's not like the whole population of students on campus. And so you're not getting sales and you're not also making that impact like you used to. And I think that's the only thing. But in order to keep my team, I, as I said, because of my relationship with some people, I was able to secure a contract on this same COVID, which was to perform validity and accuracy test on some of the data that were being reported for the COVID. And so I was doing it for about 15 countries, and that was what helped me to keep most of my employees and my team that I work with, because I directed most of the employees who were at the administrative side to that project, and I used them there during the COVID period. And those who were really technical into the water and my energy and other projects, I maintained them there. And so that was what helped me to deal with the COVID impact and situation. But I think it's been all good. Yeah.
Oh, no, that's fantastic. That sounds like a really interesting strategy. I see you employed like reallocation of resources there. We've got like a little bit of comments here, Caleb. Daniel Mpusi is saying you're quite mature for your age, Caleb. Thank you for your great impact that you're making in the community and for your people, which is an interesting one over there. We've also got Yusra Sharif. She's asking, how do you think your work in Ghana can influence the youth elsewhere in Africa, especially in most of our public schools, which don't have a lot of technology? So how do you think your work can impact the youth, is Yusra's question.
I think, let me say, I've worked with people, or I've employed people short term that are from other countries, not specifically from Ghana, and some of them were even very young, let me say junior high school level, grade 8, grade 9 students who were doing exceptionally very good from other countries like Lesotho, Morocco, Egypt. And so I've worked with so many people across Africa. And I think one of the things that I'll be doing is probably by 2024, move to other African countries to, start up something that can help bring out some of the technological desires of people at a very tender age, because I feel most people want to be more technology oriented, but now in this 21st century people see technology just to be a digital something. When you say technology, it has to be digital, but there are also technologies that are really helping solve societal problems that are not digital, but are also made right from behind and maybe integrated with a bit of the digital stuff. So I think maybe by 2024, the bigger scope and the much wider impact will be felt across Africa.
Oh, no, that's fantastic. I can see you are probably like me, you are being cautiously optimistic. Very few people are talking about traveling at this moment, given what's happening with the COVID, but I'm excited that you're talking about traveling in 2024. It's important for us as young people to be extremely enthusiastic about the future. I think it's one of those things which is absolutely, it's one of those matrix actually, which is not really measured in economics, but just being hopeful, cautiously optimistic, I think is a very important theme that has come up in this conversation today. I'm going to ask one last question. We like to keep our conversations short and sweet. As our name says, we're entrepreneurship to the point. So hopefully today we've kept to the point. This is a question from Dora. We did speak about this in the beginning a little bit, but perhaps she just joined us later on. She's asking, in terms of raising funds for your business, how exactly did you raise $100,000? Hi, Caleb. I think your mic is on mute over there. Hello, sorry guys. I think we're having like a little bit of a technical issue, but in the meantime, while we're trying to work on this technical issue, I just want to remind you that we are entrepreneurship to the point. We like talking everything about business. We're a platform that inspires, informs, equips, and given that, please join us on all our different social media platforms, that being LinkedIn, Twitter, as well as Instagram. Sorry about that. We are having like a little bit of technical issues at the moment, but be that as it may, we have to close off the session today. I hope it's been quite an informative session speaking to Caleb, who is a young entrepreneur from Ghana. Tomorrow, we are speaking to the CEO of BMZ Import and Export Agencies, Head of International Trade at JCCI. We're talking exports and imports during COVID-19. Thank you so much for joining us on Entrepreneurship to the Point. I'm your host, Azola Mzegandaba, Joy of Jazz, as many call me. I see Caleb is back. Like I was trying to close off because we're having like a little bit of technical issues. Before we close off, I think it's important just for Caleb just to say a little bit of goodbye, like maybe tell us where we can find you on the internet. I think a lot of people would like to hear about that. I think your mic.
Okay, so if I think I'm a very conservative person, but on Instagram you can see me on I am Annobil, and probably we can interact from there. You can DM me, we can talk more. If you have any interesting tech projects you want to share with me, ask anything about it, we can talk and then discuss more about it. Yeah.
Okay, no, fantastic. So thank you so much for everyone for joining us. There are some questions which have come out a bit later on, but our sessions are 20 to 30 minutes generally. So as I said earlier on, we like to keep things to the point here at Entrepreneurship to the Point, a platform that inspires, equips, and informs. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow, same time, talking to the head of international trade at JCCI. But be that as it may, you can catch I am Annobil for Caleb if you want any of his details, and do sign up to our newsletter at www.ettp.co.za. My name is Azola Mzegandaba, the Joy of Jazz. Thank you for joining us.